So there really is growth hormone for the brain. We call it brain-derived neurotrophic factor. For those of you who read Grain Brain, there was a whole section of BDNF. It's a very important chemical that actually allows the brain to grow new brain cells and actually protects brain cells as well. Well, a new study appeared in the Journal of the American Medical Association that really correlates quite closely levels of BDNF and, as you would expect, risk for becoming demented. Let's take a look. So this is a study that was just published in January of 2014 in the Journal of the American Medical Association, and it comes to us, the data, from the Framingham Heart Study, probably the largest and most well-respected epidemiologic study ever conducted on the planet, looking at over 2,000 individuals who did not have dementia, 60 years of age or greater, measured their level of this brain-related growth factor called BDNF, and then looked at them to determine who developed dementia. And what they found was seen on this next slide, that those individuals who had the highest level of BDNF, the fourth, or the quartile, highest quartile, had a dramatic reduction in risk for becoming demented. And interestingly enough, we've talked about before the idea that you can actually raise your BDNF levels and therefore, based upon this new study from the Journal of the American Medical Association, ostensibly reduce your risk for dementia. How do you do that? Well, it turns out that the most powerful thing you can do to raise BDNF and therefore make your brain resistant to degeneration is to engage in aerobic exercise. It's not a pill. It's nothing you can get at the health food store. It's 20 minutes each day minimum. Buy yourself a pair of sneakers, go out and have a brisk walk, work out on the treadmill, swim, bike, whatever you need to do, but 20 minutes of aerobic exercise every day turns on BDNF. Now, the other factor that turns on BDNF as well is the omega-3 DHA. It's the reason you take fish oil or algae oil. High levels of DHA also stimulate the body to make BDNF, and that would be good for your brain as well. Now let's look at some new information that is, I think, really very intriguing as we watch the ever-increasing rates of dementia. This is a study published in 2012 in the journal Nature Reviews Neuroscience, where they actually looked at the effect of having experimental animals that had no bacteria in their gut, and what they noticed, interestingly enough, is that these animals had exquisitely low levels of this brain protective hormone, BDNF, when they had no gut bacteria. And more importantly, when they gave these animals a bifidobacterium, a probiotic, if you will, then the BDNF levels returned. In other words, they were able to increase BDNF levels in the experimental animal by just giving them a probiotic. That's pretty exciting. And what it tells us is we've got to pay really close attention to what's going on in the gut in terms of bacteria as that relates to the brain. We've just discussed a very small mechanism where a certain type of bacterial organism, a probiotic, can increase the growth of BDNF, not in humans, in the laboratory model, but still, I think this is really important information. I'm Dr. David Perlmutter.